Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Pranam and welcome to the World United Meet the Master series. I'm Jyoti Taneja, your host from India for today's session, and along with me is Prachiti Gargi as the co-host. Well, every individual has a unique spiritual journey, and so unique offerings to be made to the world. Today we have with us someone who lives to give with love to all. Willie Doctor, or lovingly known as Ma Willie, Mother Willie, by all those whose lives she has touched. Ma Willie was born in a Parsi family in Mumbai. She has obtained her master's degree in psychology, and her research work is on psychobiological changes through meditation. An excellent teacher, a psychologist, a counselor, a meditator, and a therapist. Ma Willie is the founder of Light of the Life Trust, a non-profit organization, the third largest fundraiser in 2019 in Tata Mumbai Marathon, and was awarded Change Legend in 2019. Project Anando, Project Jagrati were launched by Ma Willie with a vision to transform lives of the underprivileged rural communities in India. She also has been imparting the knowledge of simple yet very unique type of meditation, the Satya meditation, known and presented and taught in India and in many other countries. She has also set up Satyavati Spiritual Foundation. So over to Marvili now.
My greetings to all of you, and I'm very happy to be here to discuss whatever you'd like to talk about today.
So much to know from you, Ma. The very first question would be, was Ma like this when she was a child? Is
Ah,
it right from your
that's
childhood,
really
your
very
younger days?
interesting.
Let us talk something about, how you were as a child, your family background.
Lovely. So, we were from a very simple Zoroastrian Parsi family, very simple, middle class at that time, yes, and hardworking, diligent, with brilliant minds also. My uncles were brilliant. And we actually uh, were very, what shall I say, at that point of time, my father was very religious. My grandmother was also very religious and spiritual both. And so in the early childhood, I did grow up in an environment where every day we would pray before we had meals and before we slept. And it was that kind of culture that I grew up in. But much before that, when I was about 3.5 to 4 years, I would spend my days writing something which was like a scribble. And when my mother would ask me, "What are you doing, Willie, for hours together and wasting pages and pages of a book? What is it that you're doing?" And I would tell her, "Don't disturb me. God is talking to me and I'm writing down everything that He's saying." And God knows in which language or what it was, but it was from then that this kind of, at that time, I didn't understand what the whole thing, God talking to me, meant. And so from then, there was this connection, which was a conscious connection, I would say, from that age with the divine voice, the divine instructions.
Blessed.
And it remained there forever with me, I would say.
That's it. Okay. And then you.
And then when I was in school, that's another interesting thing. Children would sometimes get a stomach ache or, some fall or whatever. And the teacher would tell me, "Please come, Willie, quickly, put your hand and make her all right." So I would do that like a play, it was a game for me at that time.
Hmm.
And and really that child would start feeling good. So from then onwards, that healing energy was flowing through the hands. And of course, at that point of time, one was not aware of it like that. But my father also used to tell me, when he was sick or when my mummy was sick, we were only three of us. And so just do this, please put your hands, and I feel good.
How could your
So,
teachers understand this?
sorry.
How could your teachers understand this? That you
Yes,
have that.
I mean, I also don't know that how is it possible that they fathomed that. It was once, of course, accidentally that I just, and, just, she had hurt herself on the head. Yasmin, her name was, I still remember. She had fallen down. It was there that I, just caressed her and just did like that with my hands. And she felt immediately the pain disappear.
Okay.
So then she went and told her mummy, mummy, daddy, daddy, everyone. And then they came and told the teacher, and what was this? And then the teacher started experimenting, Every time something like that would happen, she would say, try it out. So it was like a fun thing. So it started that
It
way.
means something past life, you think? Something from your past life?
Yes, of course. There are many, many past life incarnations.
That's really interesting. Then you went into psychology, ma.
And I know, I'm aware of the whole, but I would not like to. Then, yes, then in the university, I took up psychology and tried to understand human behavior and the entire consciousness and the space of meditation. So, my doctoral work was in the field of psychobiological changes
Yes,
that take place during meditation. Yes.
I
So,
read that and I found that topic so interesting. I said I'll be asking you, is it through meditation? It means your younger days, you wanted to see how it is going to affect.
absolutely, absolutely. Before taking it on to the world, I really wanted to see and research it scientifically and see whether it has any impact on your observation, on your perception, on your learning, and on your personality and character development. So I did research for that first, and post that, I realized that yes, your entire biochemical, you know, situation changes, your entire biochemistry changes as you start meditating.
Somehow you knew it is there, but you wanted to see it also with proofs.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This one
Wanted
more thing,
to
you were teaching in St. Xavier.
validate it. Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Right. I wanted to validate it. Yes,
Yes, you
definitely.
wanted to validate it because these days,
Because I had that scientific mind and not just spiritual understanding.
okay. And so you were also teaching. You were a professor.
Yes.
I have
I
read that
I was
also.
a professor.
Professor of
Right. I
psychology.
was a professor of psychology at St. Xavier's College first, at Nirmala Niketan for the MSW students. That's where I started my career actually, at Nirmala Niketan, teaching personality development to MSW students. Then joined St. Xavier's College to teach psychology to the graduate students. And then after that, I was invited one day suddenly to Sophia College to become the head of the department. And so I was the youngest head of the department. I was about 28, 25, 26 or something like that when I became the head of it.
You left teaching and
Then
then
after that, I uh, worked as professor for 10 years teaching psychology, yes. And after that, I said, now, enough of teaching, let me move into some other spheres of life.
What
So
is that?
we,
What influenced you, Ma? What is that? I mean, how you thought about bringing up this foundation? This was
yes.
somewhere in
So,
2002.
right, started it in 2002. Before that, I also started for 10 years a market research company,
Okay.
and which was management consultancy and market research along with my husband, and worked there for 10 years. All right. So also worked in a very definite corporate world
So, and
and them.
this is how you could,
And that was a
study the
great
minds
training
of
too for me.
so many.
Yes, absolutely. So 10 years teaching, being with all the young students,
Hmm.
10 years then in corporate world, giving all the various gyan to them. And then afterwards, it was suddenly that one day in my meditation, it came to me that I have to leave everything that is commercial now and nothing to do with money anymore. Okay.
What inspired you?
So it was in the early hours of the morning when I meditate
Okay.
that the voice told me that instruction came
Okay.
that I have to leave this and just begin my work now in another realm completely. And then after that, I just thought about it and I shared this with my family. And they said, yes, you have to follow whatever the divine tells you to do. So I had their complete support. And then in my vision, the whole thing kept coming to me, the entire plan for both the foundations, which I started. So one foundation was for the individual benefit of, the poor people. Now, this was also an early inspiration which my mother had given me when I was very young, around 10 years, maybe 8, 10 years. She used to always tell me, Willie, you have to work for the poor. My heart is for the poor, but I am not able to reach out to them. But you definitely do something for them. Now, those words still ring in my head, what she used to keep telling me.
That's
And
really good.
so, yes, so at that point of time, then I, thought about it that yes, she had told me, and now is the time when I must start. So in 2002, I started the Light of Life Trust. This foundation works purely for our rural India. I saw life in rural India and I realized that 70% of our youth are below poverty line and have potential which is truly mind blowing. And if they go without education, imagine our country is not going to really excel at all. And so, with those thoughts and with that vision, I realized that education is absolutely important for breaking the cycle of poverty. And that is when then we started this very beautiful system where we have the 3E approach. So you educate them, you then empower them. So every weekend they come and we are giving them personality development, meditation, as well as life skills training. And then finally, employability. So we try and take them to the level they start earning. And when they earn, we see the big difference. because their parents are still earning about 3,000 rupees after so many years working in either the fields or a domestic or in the sabji mandir, whatever.
Right from
Whereas
education to
these children,
employment.
yes, right from education to employment.
To employment. You're also working for women,
Yes.
and I
So,
somewhere read senior citizens also.
yes, so we are also having a center which is called Jagruti,
Yes.
where we have a medical mobile unit, and this unit goes around from village to village every day, every single day, treating mainly senior citizens who cannot walk to a dispensary because villages, either a hospital or a dispensary is kilometers away. So we reach out to their doorstep and really treat them and check them out and give them whatever is needed and wanted, right from their cataract surgeries to their dental health checkups and whatever is needed and wanted for them to cancer and to surgeries and everything. Recently someone just had a cardiac surgery, which we managed for that person very easily. So there are so many such projects, yes.
And one, your meditation, that Satya meditation. Just tell us
Yes,
something about that, because you got a foundation also, Satya Spiritual Foundation, right?
yes,
And I was just watching some video,
yes, right,
where
right,
you are teaching that meditation, that Satya meditation.
yes,
What is it
that's right,
exactly, and how is it different? What you think it is different from other meditations?
yes. So let me explain. Satya meditation is to understand and discover the truth about who you are, really. And to realize this, one has to awaken a very powerful energy system which is located in all of us. And this is your Sanskrit word is Kundalini. That is your powerful energy system. Now, once that energy system is awakened, it brings about a big transformation in your central nervous system and in your entire body. So, with that, each of those very important nerve centers, which are the most important ones, are seven in number, and those seven chakras, as they are called in Sanskrit, they have all your potentialities and qualities. But in most normal people, they all remain in a kind of dormant state. And these potentialities have to get actualized. So the process of meditation is very simple. It awakens gradually each of these seven nerve centers with a very simple Om Satya Om. Om is the universal sound, and it connects you immediately to the universal energy. Satya is the truth, and Om. And with that, I have found that thousands and thousands of people who've been meditating all over the world are discovering such important and valuable qualities about themselves which they had never experienced before. For example, there was this lady who was about, I think, 75 years old, and she had never realized that she had the artistic dimension of being a singer. Okay, I mean, being a very good musical person. And so she started singing spontaneously, naturally, one day. And she was meditating for about 2 or 3 years, I think, yes. And then one day she started just singing, and full blown songs were coming out just like that. And similarly, children also, they start developing so many different abilities, which in the normal course of life, if those nerve centers had not opened up, you would probably have not experienced. And like that, so many people have been healed by doing the meditation of various diseases. Are we back?
We are there. I think your internet connects Wi-Fi. Yes. Now you're there.
Yes, yes, yes,
We
yes.
were talking about that how
Right.
it
So
affects.
many people have been healed. Right. Yeah. So many people have been healed also. And from diabetes to cancers to all kinds of simple also illnesses, you can definitely learn meditation and heal yourself.
This is
So,
awakening the divinity in you.
yes, it is awakening the divine energy which is there in you.
Then
And once,
is a guru required? Can somebody do it on its? I mean, on her own? Is it possible?
no,
You need to have a
not
guru.
possible.
You need to have a
You
guru.
have to have a person who has been enlightened, who has got self realization.
And where did you get it from then?
Yes. So uh,
Do you have a guru figure in
it
your
happened
life?
in stages. It happened in stages for me. When I was about 7 years old first, at that point of time, I was just walking in the fields over there. It was in Devlali.
Oh,
And at that point of time, suddenly a very deep awakening happened. There was just vibrations in my entire body suddenly. And the kind of light that I saw was absolutely magnificent. I mean, I can't describe this light because it doesn't exist on any this earth planet at least. And when this happened, I was transported to a timeless space. So I didn't know how much time had elapsed. And so when I came back from the walk, we had gone for a holiday, my parents and I. And when I came back, my uncle, who was also there, he got wild and angry. And I reached, I think, somewhere around 7:30 when it had already become very dark over there. And they said, "Where did you disappear?" I couldn't tell them anything because I was really speechless for a long time after this happened. And then I was able to explain that something. They said, "You must have just gone to sleep over there." I said, "How can I go to sleep?" But then later on, I realized what exactly had happened, much later.
okay.
And then it happened again once. And then one day I happened to meet Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And she looked at me and said, "आप तो कभी के पार हो गए हैं जन्म जन्म से.
Oh,
ये तो सातवां जन्म है आपका, and all that."
so
And
she
she was
made
very,
you aware. She made you aware of what you're going through, or you knew something is happening.
no, I knew, but she recognized it. And there were, sometimes, like you come across people who do face reading and things like that. Just accidentally you come across. I never go to any people like that. They've also told me. And so, I mean, I have known, but I have kind of again got that confirmation here and there.
Okay. So, and then you are become a healer also, because you realized this when you were as a child. You said that you used to keep your hands,
Yes,
and people who children would feel better. And
right.
somehow you were told by people this is happening to you, and you also realized then that has continued till date.
Yes, yes. That has continued till now. But in between, when I was studying in college and so on, it had lapsed. I had forgotten about it completely. All right.
Hmm.
So I was engrossed in my studies, focused on that, and wanted to do well and accelerate everything
Mhm.
possible at that time, which was rational and logical, so and scientific. So it was in that sense on a very low key, maybe once in a way, twice a year or something, I would have healed someone that way.
So it's when the universe reminded you that this is your
Yes,
job, you started again.
that's right. The big call came, and then I was pushed to do it. And
You
then
went
when
on
I
the
was
wrong
pushed,
direction. You better come here.
yes.
Okay.
So I don't charge anyone for anything, any work that I do, because I'd given my promise that now I don't have anything to do with money at all.
That's a very noble kind of a work. When you're naturally out for people. That is what I said. The moment I saw your face, I could make out the warmth, that love on your face. You're very charming. You're very loving. I mean, you're exuding that. Your aura is full of that.
It has to be just love and light, I feel. Love is
People,
the most powerful energy in this universe.
definitely, definitely.
And once your heart opens up, and that is just flowing and giving, and just that joy that is there of the spirit is the only thing that gives you that bliss in life. Believe me, really.
What is your regular practice, Ma? Because when you are, healing others, naturally you require energy for your own self also. So you have, then you give.
Yes. So one has to be constantly in connection with the divine. It is a circuit of energy that flows all the time through. And it is that power that does it. I don't do anything.
You don't
I'm
do?
just an instrument.
I
I
could get,
don't do anything.
you don't do anything.
I don't do anything. I'm not the doer.
Okay.
It's
Self
all
is,
done. Yes, it's all done by the divine. I'm just an instrument. That's all.
that's wonderful.
That's,
That's
You
that's
would,
the
wonderful.
way I look at it.
Mavili, you would understand things now. Like you are just not the doer. It's all a connection with the divine. And as you touch, you pass on that energy. I was
Yes,
interested in knowing that when you used to have these experiences in school, when your teachers would
yes.
want you to heal some classmate, how would you feel then? I mean, what exactly would happen to you? Could you observe and register that, or did you try to analyze?
No, nothing. For me, as I said, it was like a game. All right. Okay. I had hands in which, through which something happened.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened.
You did not observe, like, what was it exactly happening? No.
No, but it could have been that there was one day. Yeah, that's a good idea. You told me this. Yes. One day I saw light coming out. Okay. When I was doing that for that young child. And I was, a little bit taken aback like that. Oh my God, like that. But then as a child, and you don't remember or recall all this. But now when people have taken photographs of mine, then actually this light has been recorded.
Okay.
Light all over, so much, and so many photographs in any camera that you take, your simple iPhone or Samsung. People have taken photographs from those cameras, no special cameras or anything. and it has been seen. And so now I know that that light that I saw when I was around probably 6, 7 years old, it was like that, you know.
But
But I didn't know at that time what
you
is
continued
all
to
of that.
innocent child, and you
Yes,
came
very
to that.
complete innocence and childhood play, you know. It was like real Leela that time.
You're indeed blessed.
Yes.
Hmm?
Totally blessed, absolutely.
Oh, there's one. What
But I'm a very quiet person, you know, very low profile.
I can make out that.
Yeah, so I don't
I mean,
share all this with
I think
everyone. You're one of
anybody.
the rare people I'm sharing. I don't know why.
We are also blessed.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
there's
All my blessings always.
thank you so much, thank you so much. But there's one thing, we have so many religions all over the world, and you
Yes,
see that people are fighting, and I mean there is so much of division because of these religions. Whereas in the books, we are all taught God is one. Then how people like you, I mean, like you're a healer, you're also into meditation. How people, spiritual masters like you, can make people understand that okay, you are all one. Books have not been able to do anything.
absolutely. You know, and I see this happening when I travel around the world and I'm teaching the spiritual practice to everyone.
Hmm.
People from all the religions come, they
Yes.
sit down very peacefully, and whether you're a Muslim or whether you are a Jewish person, or if you are a Hindu or whatever, any caste, class, everyone is there in the class. And they have no problem saying Om also, because I explain to them and do that scientifically. And I make them realize that spirituality is what we should seek. That though we are born in a particular religion, or you may have become by choice chosen something which is your religion, yet that is not your path completely. Your path is higher than your religion, because religion is certain degree of conditioning of beliefs in your mind space. And you have to go even beyond that conditioned mind space. You have to go and really explore and see the universe, which is much bigger than any of these divided concepts and constructs that we've created around religions. And so I do open up their minds and make them realize the value of spirituality above a religion. And they begin to see it. And they begin to then start understanding that oneness is such an important concept, plus self realization brings that oneness and it becomes an experience. And we never feel then that there is the other person.
Yes.
There is that, complete oneness. And when they realize that, then they see the value of how they should go beyond any religious doctrine and open up their hearts to receiving everyone.
Do they carry it forward, you feel so?
Yes,
Or is it only
many,
when they are with you in the workshop, it changes for some time, and once they are out, I mean, it all goes.
no, they realize the value if they are meditating regularly and they've gone onto the path of Satya. Then they realize that discovery of the absolute truth is nothing but the love of God,
Yes.
that divine love. And when they discover that, they don't need any religion anymore.
Definitely.
They don't need to do all the rituals. They don't need to go to the temples. They know that everything is right here
Right here.
and the divine is right here. They don't have to seek the divine on the outside.
But it all starts with religion right from childhood.
Yes. So, which is the value?
It's just the values.
Yes.
Somehow, even sometimes I feel, these books, I mean, God forgive me, but these books are teaching actually moral values, which one should go later on deep into it. It's only then you can reach spirituality.
Absolutely. Very true. Even our schools, they teach us moral education, value education. That is one important period which everybody goes to sleep in normally.
Mm.
But yes, we are taught morals and values, but we know that what happens in our Kalyug.
Yes.
In Kalyug today, yes, there is
One
no
needs to be
value
a
for
human
value.
being first. One needs to be a human being first.
Absolutely. Completely. Right. If you don't have love in your heart for another person or anything, then you are of no real value. You are then just a manipulator in this world.
Can you just define what love according to you is? Because I mean, what love
According to
according,
me,
and whether it is easy for common men to understand. I love you is so common.
right? So, love is an energy, all right? It is an energy which is shared and communicated through words, through non-verbal communication, and through the empathy that you bring and the oneness that you bring with each other. And when that opening happens, this energy starts flowing.
This is
It
what
is,
I meant. This is what I
yes,
meant. It is only when that opening happens. Otherwise, people say, "How long can I, listen to somebody?" What
absolutely.
is it not? And then there,
Absolutely.
why should I only keep surrendering? Why should I only keep listening?
Correct. When there isn't that awakening
Yes.
and opening, then it cannot be.
So
It
this is
cannot.
how you one can. I mean, how people like you can try to make people understand that this is required.
So the way to do it is first through dialogue, communication, and second is through the practice of meditation.
Yes.
Once you start practicing meditation, as I said, all the seven important wonders of you begin to open up. And truly, they are wonders within you. It's like you don't have to go and see the seven wonders of the world, they're all inside you.
And these seven wonders, can they heal you from inside?
Absolutely. When they open up, what happens is, let me give you an example. Now, for instance, the third chakra, which is located in your stomach, in your belly. All right. This nerve center, when it opens up, what does it do? It starts giving energy to all the different organ systems also in that area. So now in the stomach, there are so many organs all around. The liver, the spleen, the intestines, and all the possible other digestive organs, stomach and so on. So all these organs, which may be depleted of energy, get their energy once that chakra opens up and starts sharing the energy in that region. So that is how actually healing also takes place.
And I
And
think
so when,
once people understand the power of this, then
yes,
they may drift towards this, and naturally the world would become something very beautiful.
absolutely, absolutely. That is the whole uh, vision and mission of mine
Of
that,
Satyavati Spiritual Foundation.
yes, that there should be global peace, there should be oneness, and people should spontaneously and naturally come together.
Marvelous.
It's not by just lectures or talking or by making the person just, realize it at the level of your mind. It doesn't happen. It
It
has
hasn't
to be,
helped. It hasn't helped.
yes, it hasn't helped at all. It has to be an internal change from within. And that can happen only at your subtle energy level. And when you're connected with the universe, then you realize the value of peace, love, joy, and your own spirit.
Can you share some
This is,
experience? Some people coming and telling you that this has happened to me and I'm so changed and transformed.
So many, so many, so many, so many.
So many.
Recently, I had been to Nomia. Nomia is in South Pacific.
Yes.
It is a small island over there. And people have started meditating now in large numbers over there. And the president also was very happy about it. The president's mother, particularly, and the wife. And they have now taken it up and are going to introduce it in schools and at various levels already because they saw the value of it immediately and they realized that this is what is needed. So, one of the gurus or teachers is now posted there in New Caledonia, who is working so that this really gets established. And if it's in a small place, really established, that becomes like an experimental body of people from where we can definitely then start making everyone realize it. I've also done it in Washington, D.C. at the
Yes.
Capitol. Yes.
I read you have been holding workshops all over the world.
Yes, all over the
So
world.
that means you've been touching lives, in a very different manner, in a very subtle manner.
Yes, yes, yes. In a manner that I share my love, my life with them. And that is the reason why they call me Ma. I never wanted to be called Ma at the early age because my son was laughing and telling me, "What is this? You are my only mummy and I am your only son."
Sweet. That's so sweet.
That was so sweet. But then people started calling me because of that love, of the caring, that nurturing, that constant blossoming that comes in their lives.
Yes, and I'm also wondering, I wish I could go on and on talking to you about so many things.
Yes.
What is this? This is the power of love.
That absolutely, absolutely,
Prachati, any question from your end, beta?
There is no ego in our talks.
No, yes.
I'm sharing things so frankly and openly.
Absolutely.
As is, without any kind of making it big, making a big show, nothing. But if you meet today's spiritual leaders, you will see immediately what they're doing, And that makes me very sad because they are hypnotizing people and they are making people in just masses move to them, and then so much of money comes in.
Yes, enslaving in a sense.
And yes.
In a way, it is enslavement.
Absolutely.
I was actually wondering.
Sorry?
I was wondering when we talk about love, the way you are explaining, once a person is touched with love, he continues to pursue it, he continues to spread it, and he knows the importance of this emotion. But then as compared to this, those who come in contact with negative qualities, hatred and jealousy and envy and things like that, they get tempted, they get entangled, and they want to continue with that. They don't spread it, but they want to stick to it. Mavili, how to ensure that these people who have probably never tasted love, if they could be, if somebody could take that challenge and could make them experience love, how much better the things would be? How to go about tackling them?
Very important, you know.
Like I
I
feel,
work with all the,
for
sorry,
example, Mavili, those who will come to you, they would want love and they would want to learn things. But
yes,
then those who do not even approach anybody, they in fact have never tasted how to reform
yes.
them.
So for instance, let me give you the example of my children in the villages. Yeah. They have never tasted love. They've
Mhm.
only tasted poverty and bitterness and anger, aggression and rejection.
Yes.
Their fathers are drunk almost every evening. Okay. Mother who's working, slaving for everything. They've only seen bitterness. All right. So when they come and they experience this love for the first time, they are mind blown, but they are also skeptical in the beginning. That why is it that there is someone who wants to really do something for us? Nobody in this world has done anything for us.
Mm.
And so, from the negative conditioning, as you're saying, the mind is negatively conditioned to slowly bring the child to understand and realize what value one is now bringing into his life and weaning away from that entire negative loop in his life to a very empowering and positive loop is the transformation that is so important.
It's a
And
big
that is,
challenge. It's a big
it's a very
challenge.
big challenge. And we're doing it for lakhs of people. All right. There are now more than 4 lakh children who have been transformed like this. And their lives have completely changed. 360-degree change. From being bitter, angry, vicious
I
sometimes.
yes, yes. These the parents just don't understand how to bring up the child. They don't even know anything.
They
What are
don't.
they going to give?
Correct.
But some
Absolutely.
by I mean, when you are touching them, definitely they are going to become better parents, better citizens, better people, more
Correct.
of love.
Absolutely. And best is even the mothers and fathers have changed
Oh,
through that, which is the best part of it. You know, when they've seen the children change so much and benefit so much, and they realize that, oh my God, now my child is earning and the starting salary is 15 and 20,000, and I will never make this money in my life. You can imagine their mindset. That is one level. The other level is when that child starts talking to them and teaching them the right things. And they start also learning because we have the parents group also. We teach them also, parents or guardians, depending if they're orphans and guardians. So these parents now have become the spokespeople of the Light of Life Trust.
wonderful, wonderful.
They have composed songs.
Oh,
They go on singing from village to village, telling the others, please send your children to Light of Life Trust and you will see the big change.
that's great.
So, positive energy really trickles and spreads and it grows far faster than negative energy.
Yes.
Negative energy just accumulates and sits there like a, you know,
A trigger is needed. It's
yes, just
required.
trigger is needed and everything can get sparked off.
Okay, Ma. The last question would be, what would be your message to this world, through this platform?
My message to the world would be love and light. Let us have more love in this world through an enlightened, peaceful, joyful life, which
Wonderful.
you can, yes, which you can easily attain through your awakened state in Satya meditation.
That's great. Wonderful.
And I feel that one should live to give to live, and give to love, and give with love.
Give with love.
Yes.
That's great. It was such a nice talk. I mean, it was a pleasure having you with us. We all, both of us, have really enjoyed. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very,
for
very
sparing
much.
your time, and definitely we'll get back to you again. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you
Ma.
very much. God bless you all. Thank you.